How do I save for a house? You know, a lot of people that I've met in my lifetime in real estate have actually told me that there was a point in their life where they did not believe in themselves enough to ever think that they would be homeowners. It's sad, but it's true. Home ownership, I believe, is such an amazing part of being a human being. To be able to own a home, to be able to say what you do with it. I guess unless the local government has anything to do with that. But hey, I want to move that wall. I want to paint that wall. I'd want to add on. Oh crap, I got to fix the toilet. My point being is stick with the positive. You want to own a home. It is exciting. It's free. And if you do it right, the payments are fixed, right? Nobody can raise your rent. There's no landlord there. So I think it's really important. So how do we save money for a house? Now, I'm sure so many of you will probably tell me, hey, you don't know my situation. I'm barely making it. Well, let's do this. I'm not joking. Start talking positive over your life. I know it sounds crazy. That's the most fundamental basic rule about success. Start talking positively. Well, how do you speak positively? Well, you have to have a plan, and then you got to positively go after that plan. And once you see yourself checking off boxes and completing things and seeing progress, you get more and more excited. So you need to come up with a savings plan. First off, what I would suggest doing is go and find a payment that you are comfortable with. Okay. That's the first thing. Most people, they go and look for the house, and then they shoot themselves in the foot. I'm going to try and be nice here. I don't know how to do this. I'm not going to be nice. Stop caring what your family and friends live in. Stop caring. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't care if they live in mansions. I don't care. I don't care what kind of cars they drive. You need to figure out what you can do, because you can't become successful and become wealthy without figuring out first what you can make happen and then build on that. So you have rent. Let's say you pay $2,000 a month in rent. I want you to take a really good hard look at yourself in the mirror, write down your budget. If you don't have a budget, get it in writing. And then I want you to sit there and look at yourself in the mirror and say, can I easily make this rent long-term? If the answer is yes, you've picked your house number. You know how much of a house payment you can make. See, so many people, they go in to get a loan, and the mortgage guy's going, hey, you could actually afford a more expensive payment by a couple $100, and you get excited because that couple $100 will now get you an extra bedroom or an extra bathroom. You need to focus on what you can afford, because life happens. Cars break down. Children get born. Marriages happen. Things happen. Inflation. Thank you, government. Point being is that things happen, and I want you to be comfortable. So what you do is you figure out, I can afford $2,000 a month. Now, secondly, I need you to go and figure out how much a loan is going to cost you at $2,000 a month. There's so many different variables in this world when it comes to buying homes. There's the price of the home. There's the insurance on the home, the interest rate on the home, the points and all that kind of stuff. There's just so many things, variables. So now that you have the amount you're willing to pay per month, $2,000, you need to go down and talk to a loan person. And I always say, go talk to 3 of them and get what's called a loan estimate, and tell them, say, I am comfortable with making a $2,000 a month payment. So how much of a home could I afford? Let them tell you. And always, always, always get a 30-year fixed loan. Now, this isn't financial advice. I'm saying that sarcastically, but it's true, because I like fixed loans. When you deal with a variable rate loan, there's too many other variables in life that can knock you off your financial horse. And next thing you know, you're in the mud and you're screwed and you're losing everything. Okay. So you go and you tell the loan person, I am comfortable with paying a $2,000 a month payment. That's total. It's called PITI, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. It's an acronym, PITI. Say that's the whole payment I want to pay. So that means I need to know, how much can I afford? When he tells you that, okay, you could get a loan for X based on the current interest rate and all this kind of stuff. You could afford a house at a certain amount. Those are the ones you start to look for. Now, a lot of people find themselves going, well, that means I could only afford a condominium or a modular home or, a manufactured home or an apartment. You need to buy what you can afford. And there's so many other variables in there, getting a good, neighborhood and all that kind of stuff. But again, the most important thing is you need to figure that out. Well, as part of that, you need to go now, how do I get this down payment? Well, I know it sounds crazy, but you have to step back in your lifestyle and take a step backwards. That's right. You either start looking for everything that you can sell around the house, or you start stepping back. You say, you know what? I don't need that fancy, expensive truck. Let me see if I can sell it and then buy myself a beater car. I drove, even after being worth over $1 million, I drove a 1994 Honda Civic that looked like, let's just say that if it was driving by slowly and the window rolled down, you'd probably run. Point being is, it was a hoopty. And the fact of the matter is, I did that on purpose because every month that I wasn't driving a fancy truck, I was saving an additional $300 to $500 a month. Okay. So you start to peel back the layers of the onion that is your financial life and go, you know what? I don't need this. I don't need that. I don't need Amazon Prime to watch TV and Netflix. Let me cut one of those. Start to look at what you can cut. Start to look at what you can sell. Then on top of that, look at where you're storing your money. Are you putting it in a regular savings account or checking account getting 0 interest? Or could you get a money market account yielding 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5%, depending on where interest rates are? So then you've got to ask yourself, where is the money being kept? Are you keeping it in a checking account, making 0 interest? Or could you look at a money market account, still making sure that it's insured by the FDIC, making 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4% interest? That also helps you saving for your house. My point being is that you need to take a step back and you need to peel back that onion, those layers of your financial budget onion, and start figuring out where you can find that money. Look at selling things. Look at trying to pick up an extra side hustle or a gig. And the point being is that when you do, you'll be able to buy your first house. Oh, little cliffhanger here. I didn't say it in the beginning. How I bought my first house? I sold electric trains that I bought at the garage sales on eBay. Within 1 year, I saved up $20,000. I worked my butt off. Every day that I was off of work, I was a full-time fireman at the time. And then I worked on the side, going to garage sales on Saturday and selling them throughout the week. I saved up $20,000. I bought my first house. And then after my first house, I bought my first rental, second, third, and 14 rentals later, that was all she wrote. No, I'm just joking. I got lots of life left in me. Hope you got something out of this. It's time to start saving for a house. You can afford it if you stay well within your means. All right, with that being said, I think this one's done. Let's move on.